Welcome to the Boyz Podcast. They're all about sports, and more sports. And now, the Baller Boys, Mark and Shemaiah.
All right. Hello, and welcome back to the Baller Boys Podcast. It's your boy, Mark, and I'm joined by my awesome co-host, the SOTB, the music man with the plan, Shemaiah.
Yeah, man. Bobby, man, that's a hot topic.
Bobby who?
I mean, I don't know if you guys set up in a second, but that's a little taser for us.
Ooh, we're talking about a Bobby, but Bobby who?
Not the builder, though.
The builder, yeah.
This guy is building some good defense, though, that's for sure.
Ooh, you better believe it. Thank you all for joining us today on another episode of the Baller Boys Podcast. We are changing gears to some NFL talk. Last week, we talked about our Super Bowl picks, and if you want to hear who we think is going to make it to the Super Bowl, go listen to that show. It's good stuff. We get into some in-depth conversation, as we always do, and it's casual and it's cool. But thank you all for joining us. We're the Baller Boys Podcast. And let's get right to it. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams, and more specifically, the acquisition of linebacker Bobby Wagner. Now, Wagner's contract is a 5-year, $50 million deal that can reach $65 million if he achieves certain incentives. But the point is, the Los Angeles Rams, their defense just got better. Somehow it got better. They acquired big-time Bobby Wagner. He was rumored to be interested in other teams. I mean, for a little while, people thought he was going to be a Dallas Cowboy. I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. I know y'all are crying a little bit, but Bobby joined the reigning champs. Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. This team is still stacked. This defense is still intact for the most part. They're still good. And you add a playmaker like Bobby Wagner, who's a team first type of guy, as was shown in Seattle, where he had been with them for so long. And you could tell that his teammates loved him. Just a good locker room type of guy. And he's also really darn good. Now, last season, the Rams defense was the 15th best in the league, which is odd because with all the name guys that they had last season, you would think that they'd be in the top 5 or even the top 10, but they are definitely going to be in the top 10 this season. Bobby's a playmaker. He's a difference maker, and the dude deserves a ring. He's played with the likes of Russell Wilson. So, he's a guy who is a team first type of guy. He's a teammate. Just going to run through a few stats here, Shemaiah, before we get to some questions and get your thoughts on this. So the 2021 Rams defense allowed a lot of passing yards. It's interesting because, again, I just said they were the 15th best defense last season, but, they made it to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. So you would think the team, the defense would be in the top 5 at least. So that's why I was kind of surprised when I saw this stat. But the Rams defense did allow a lot of passing yards. Now, again, that's not the first thing you think of when you think of the Rams, because Jalen Ramsey, their all-star corner, is on the Rams. So, again, shedding some light on a few of the cracks that were in this Rams defense from last season. Now, some good stuff. They were top 10 in fewest rushing yards allowed. Now, that really came in handy because a lot of their opponents were not able to run the ball on them, especially in that playoff run. The Bengals were not able to really go all out on the ground either. The Buccaneers, they ran a little bit on them, but they couldn't really get it going. They are tied with the Bills and Colts in third for most INTs by a defense. So this defense was able to get turnovers on a consistent basis and capitalize on them for, letting the offense get better field positioning. And it takes a lot of pressure off of the offense and Stafford and company, which is good because the Rams had a lot of trouble running the ball. But Shemaiah, what are your initial thoughts of this acquisition? Because just last week, spoiler alert, we didn't have the Rams as our pick for winning the Super Bowl last week. But this acquisition is game-changing for the Rams. And I got to ask you real quick, could this team seriously give Brady, Dak, and Rodgers problems in the playoffs?
Easily. I mean, it's so bad that I might to no, I'll never do that to the GOAT. I'll never change my mind on Tom Brady, but it would make it scary though, because it's the thing. Bobby Wagner know what it takes to go to the Super Bowl. He came into the league the same year Wilson on the same team. Heck, 2014, he won the chip with Mr. Wilson. Mm-hmm. So you talking about a lottery ticket for LA Rams? Oh yeah, Matthew Stafford is sleeping doing AT&T commercials like overtime because he ain't worried about nothing. He is literally like, okay, guys, we're going back to the big game. Case closed. I will never go against the GOAT, Tom, but yes, this kind of makes it scary because this is an awesome, deal. I mean, seriously, you're talking about a guy who knows what it takes to play his role with his teammates to get to the big game. Yeah. I mean,
he's got championship experience.
I mean, just imagine the phone call that they had. Hey, Matthew, meet your new teammate. Oh, by the way, he doesn't just know how to get to the big dance or the big game, excuse me. He actually has a ring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, man, this is going to be awesome for LA Rams.
I don't think there was a better team for him to go to either.
Well, maybe the Broncos, a little family reunion would have been nice. But, I mean, that's another situation because Wilson, he's not trying to be off topic, but he's predicting that not predicting, he's wanting to get 3 to 4 Super Bowls with the Broncos, apparently, from an article that was released today. That's interesting.
LeBron, Bosch, and Wade wanted, 6?
Right. I think he can get maybe a couple, to be honest. But 3 is a big, steep.
Team's good. The team's good enough to get a couple.
Yeah, they might be able to get 3, but that's kind of risky. I'm not.
They never live up to what they say.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
You know, I can see 1 for sure. 2, if everything falls in place. But honestly, as far as in next season, LA Rams has a better chance than the Broncos. I'm just gonna put it out there as far as winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically my point. They have a big safety net right now with Mr. Bobby. I'm gonna call him the jeans brand. I didn't want to do that, but Bobby Wagner. I'm gonna call him the other one, the blue jean brand. But that'd be funny. Elmer Flood trying to talk for me, but this would be so seriously. They're not gonna lose sleep during training camp. If you're LA Rams, you're literally we're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. Because with this guy, not just experience being in the league since 2012, he's just going to inspire people. Because they're going to look at this guy and he has a chip. He knows what it feels like. He knows the sacrifices that are necessary to do in order for the whole team as a unit to have an opportunity and chance to actually get there. So, if you're the coach, you're sleeping like a baby right now. Because honestly, any team that would have got him, it would have been still. Because that's how valuable he is.
Any team he ended on, he would have.
Imagine him be with the Cowboys. Oh, if he went the Cowboys, I would literally cheer for the Cowboys. Because that's the presence that he there's certain people that bring presence to the team. Yeah. And him, it's wait, I can sue with this guy? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put 300%. I used to put 95%. With him on the team, I'm putting 300%.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell he's really loved by his teammates, and he's just one of those locker room type of leaders. And this is exactly what the Rams, I mean, it's wild to think that this Rams defense can get more intimidating, and it just did on all sorts of levels.
It just went to 0 to 5,000.
And I know we talked about how the Rams, we don't think they can repeat, but this acquisition now makes this defense, you know, they were already like a Super Bowl winning defense because they won last season. But this, I mean, as far as status of Super Bowl winning defense, this is the definition of that as of right now. And could it be enough to repeat? Absolutely. I would not be surprised if this Rams defense took down Rodgers, Dak, and Brady.
I was just about to say
on their way to the Super Bowl.
No, I was just gonna say. I was just about to say that. It's like you read my mind.
Oh, well, yeah. This always happens to us, by the way, y'all.
But another thing I'll add is this: Matthew Stafford. Not no one. Some people refuse to believe that he can actually pull the job, make it happen, and get the championship. He has now put all that to rest. He can definitely repeat, man, as long as he stays healthy. Oh, he's not an old guy, man.
What a story that would be, though. Can you imagine?
Exactly. Well, it proves that you don't want to play in Detroit, but you know, that's another story.
Yeah, I mean, that is another story.
I love my city, but it just proves that the hard knocks is real. But yeah, I mean, you know, like it's something like it's basically fresh air, and you can probably expect LeBron to go more games because it's gonna be exciting. Because you were the king of the hill, you got the chip, it's nice and polished. Your confidence is sky high because you're gonna remind people who won last year. It's like, oh, wait. You got something to say? Wait. You have something to say? What's your name?
Yeah.
Who won last season? Oh, okay. I just want to double check.
Just a reminder in case y'all forgot.
I just want to double check.
Yeah. The Rams house is still here, by the way.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the leverage they have in every interview until they can't say it no more. So they can't lose a certain amount of games before that wears off. But in the beginning of the season, that's basically what they're going to be like. Wait, who are you? Who won last year? Oh, okay, I just want to check real quick.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just going to be like extra boost of confidence as a unit to where they have a reason to trust each other. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the house got shook up so bad to where they're like, oh my God, question marks.
They've done it. They won the big game, and now I think they're going to be more motivated to really just come together.
They have enough pieces to definitely repeat. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I wish someone would say that I'm crazy for saying that because explain, buddy.
Right. I mean, no, they signed Allen Robinson, Aaron Donald's still around, Jalen Ramsey's still around, Stafford, you know, they just signed him to an extension. You know, they have a few little holes to fill still, but there's the NFL draft for that and other free agency. But we've already talked about how the NFC isn't as stacked as the AFC. There are still some good teams in the NFC, but there are just far more in the AFC, and that definitely helps out the Rams. And now they just bolstered their defense with a game changer like Bobby Wagner. It's just like how you can no longer just say this team is just good enough to get to a Super Bowl. This team is now good enough to repeat.
Yeah, they're not a team. They're literally oh my God, team. They're like, reloaded.
Yeah. I think there are still a few questions and holes they have to fill in the offense, but their defense just got scarier.
Man, there's more questions with I almost said Green Bay. There's more questions with them. I had so many questions. I didn't know if they are supposed to be in there still, but yeah, there's way more questions with them.
Yes, there are definitely more questions with them.
I mean, it's Mount Everest right now for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And if y'all want to listen to us talk about Green Bay, we actually do talk about them in a previous episode in depth. So go check out that episode.
Yeah, go check it out, man. And I thought he was going to segue to something else, but yeah.
No, go ahead.
Just wrap up the thoughts though with Bobby. It's a cool name, by the way, too.
It is a cool name.
The fact that he's been able to get out of Seattle is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he was in that place, I do not want to be in the locker room next season in Seattle. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep it real.
Let's be honest. They're in a rebuild.
I mean, dude, you talking about Hard Knocks, they should have did a story on them because it's going to be tough. I mean,
that would have been a sad Hard Knocks, I'll tell you.
You know what I'm saying? It might be soft knocks because, like, Wilson's a great quarterback and they lost him.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different story. That's why I won't go into that. But, dude, it's like, man, it's like the NFL just keep coming up with surprises. And
I know. This has been one of the best off seasons in recent memory.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back in some years ago, we can predict who was obviously going to like have a legit chance. Now is wide open to a certain degree.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, so I wanted to ask you a question because you mentioned Stafford earlier. So, the Rams win the Super Bowl in dramatic fashion. They actually almost blew it against the Bengals last season. But do you think Stafford, because Stafford didn't play a great game, do you think Stafford is motivated? He's going to use that to motivate himself and push himself to play much better and to have the opportunity to just ball on the grand stage that is the Super Bowl next season?
Well, I mean, I think Matthew Stafford is probably counting his blessings because they were literally on the edge of like jokes like Detroit Lions. Because think about it. If he would have lost that game or done something crazy to put him in position to lose, it would have been like, see, I thought y'all kind of saw the patterns of Detroit. Like, nah, man. Anybody from the Lions, nah, man. No.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they haven't seen a Super Bowl in like forever. Yeah. So, nah, I mean, I think, answer your question, he's going to probably be harder on himself because he's going to have high expectation of his performance. So he's going to be like, okay, it is my focus, if you will, to make sure I put my teammates in the best position to catch the ball, to have the best plays, ran flawlessly, because there's no room for error if you're talking about having a repeat. Yeah. So from the first day, in training camp, I'm sure they're going to be watching film, but they probably be watching film like commercials on YouTube. They're just going to be like overly prepared because they're going to be obsessed with the idea of repeating. And that's going to take a different level of intense focus and attention to detail, because anything that gets skipped, man, it's like little warning signs. It's going to pile up to where it's too late and you can't recover from it.
Yeah, for sure. And the reason I ask that is because let's say they do get back to the Super Bowl. If Stafford makes, a bunch of mistakes, throws some interceptions in the next Super Bowl, they're not going to win that game. And I think he's going to use his last performance, although it wasn't that great. It was just enough to get it done. But I think he's going to be, pushing himself, like you said, to play much better, to make sure that he doesn't have a performance like that if they do get back to the big game. So yeah. I'm glad you said that. Because,
too, it's going to be a trust thing. So if the defense is like, okay, thank you, Matthew, we're not saving your butt all the time, we're all worn out here. You know what I'm saying? So It's going to be a trust factor in the locker room, but not just the bubbly, like generic talk of trust. I'm talking about like, hey, we understand the assignment on every play. Like no one's falling asleep like, Kyrie did way back with the Cavaliers and running the wrong way. Like, we ain't going to do that, guys. Yeah. I know it's a different sport, but I'm just throwing as a metaphor. They're going to have attention to detail, and the coach is high energy. That guy's going to let you know.
Oh, Sean McVay, yeah.
He's going to let you know.
One of the youngest coaches in the league.
He's going to be like, hey, guys, no, we're not going to embarrass ourselves. Like, nah. Let's nip it in the blood, in the bud, and let's get it done. Yeah. I can imagine the motivational speeches would be totally different with the Rams than the Detroit Lions. I feel like his point is going to be a little bit more like crystal clear. It's not just going to be a fluff like, hey, how you doing today? You need a hug? It's going to be more like, hey, you're going to run suicide until you puke, until you stop making those dumb mistakes. Because like I said, if they can minimize mistakes, bro, they're going to be so dangerous next year. And I know I'm talking a lot, but it's because, man, this changes everything. Like, I picked Tom Brady. I still will go with Tom Brady because he's the GOAT. But this is kind of interesting, man. Like this makes the NFC a lot more interesting. Yeah, because it's like, man, if they have a perfect scenario from top to bottom in that organization where they just flow, and y'all stay with me because I know LA Round fans are loving this and everyone else is hating what I'm saying because they're like, shut up. But to all the LA Round fans, y'all need to pack every game. Buy your tickets because what we're about to see from Matthew Stafford and his players, teammates, it's going to be bananas because the pressure's on. There's talent. We haven't touched it too deeply, but the talent is crazy in the NFL right now. So Matthew and them, if they're going hot, you can expect that head coach running down that field like he's doing suicides. Because he's going to be like, whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do this season. Because, they have the right pieces to repeat. And you made a point, there's some other pieces they might have to look at. But overall, I'm sleeping like a baby if I'm Matthew Stafford. Because it's like this move alone has really put us in position that if everyone does their job right, we very well can have an easy repeat of that trophy.
And this defense already put in that work and showed that they weren't here to mess around in the last Super Bowl when they ultimately, helped seal the deal against Burrow and the Bengals. And this addition will only boost their confidence. They'll be more motivated. They get a great teammate as well. Very energetic, very good player too. And I think it'll help motivate their offense and Stafford and company to also improve their play too, and maybe cut down on mistakes and really try to move the ball down the field more often. So I think it's just win-win. The Rams are a serious contender now, and they can beat the Buccaneers, and they can get to the Super Bowl again, and I think they can repeat. They're on repeat territory here, and that's something special. Not a lot of championship-winning teams can go on to the next season with that confidence, with the right pieces, saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go right back to the Super Bowl." Yeah, the Rams can put themselves in that category. They can easily get back to the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you what, Shemaiah, I cannot wait for the Bucs-Rams rematch from last season in the playoffs, because I think it's inevitable that these two are going to meet again.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the game to watch if you're from the West Coast. And it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's not like one's going to blow out the other team. It's going to be a matchup that will boost ratings and TV, and everyone's be like, yo, I'm watching that game, even if I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just two teams where it's fun to watch them. Like, it's not like you fall asleep after the second half or the second quarter and it's halftime. Like, nah, it's going to be one of those games that honestly, 2-3 years from now, it'll be the hottest game on the West Coast. Period. Hands down. Name another team that'll be better than that matchup. There ain't none.
They're not in the NFC. I think the Rams and Bucs are going to meet in that NFC Championship game. As last season, the Rams almost blew that game against the Bucs. And again, this goes back to why I was asking you about, like, you think Stafford is going to use that lackluster Super Bowl performance last year to kind of motivate himself and boost him, push himself to his limits and play better football and not make as many mistakes, because those mistakes almost cost them on their Super Bowl run last season. And the Bucs very well could have just beaten them. And we could have been talking about the Bucs going back to back. So I think both teams have something to prove. Sticking to the Rams here, Stafford has something to prove again, even though he's already made it to the top of the mountain. He wants to go out there and show everyone we're not done. We just reloaded the chamber. We've got new weapons on this team. I'm still here. I just signed an extension. I'm here to stay. And don't forget, my name is Matthew Stafford.
Well,
I am. Yeah.
I was going to say, he's going to want to prove to Detroit Lions that, these weapons are working. And that's no knock to Detroit. It's just that, sometimes, change the scenery, you blossom to something special. And I think that's what happened in Matthew Stafford's story, which needs to be a documentary. Hello.
Yes,
somebody
please.
And some unknown network needs to make a documentary.
Yes.
Because we need an inside story, man. We need to know what his routine was. Because, you need to do that and send that tape unedited to Detroit Lions so that they can kind of mentor the next
use that to motivate their own players.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, what happened? We just had the same guy.
And it sure as heck wasn't just moving to LA, I'll tell you that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is kind of cold in Michigan sometimes, but still.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, man, it's going to be a situation where I think Matthew or his people, squad, front office, then we watching tape. And I think we'll benefit them if they catch every mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
That cause a penalty or cause this or cause that. And then make a mental note to try by all means to prevent that from happening. And they will be the most dangerous team next season.
Yeah, for sure. So just I wanted to ask you one last question. So the Rams and the Buccaneers are easily the two best teams in the NFC right now, right?
Oh, my bad. I thought my mic was unmuted. I agree. I said it like 5 times. I'm like, wait, he ain't hear me? Oh, it's
No, you're good. You're good. No, I was just going to ask a closing question here. So do you think that the Rams and the Buccaneers are the two best teams in the NFC by far?
At this very moment, yes.
Yeah.
Because anything can change in like next month. But
considering this offseason, anything can happen, right?
But no, at this moment, yeah, definitely. There's no other team that you can make a valid argument.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Especially Aaron Rodgers. He's basically praying right now because his slippery slope gets slipper. It's just like banana peels everywhere.
Yeah. He's got a lot of work cut out.
He's always going to make the playoffs, but
he'll make it work. He will will the team, and Dak and the Cowboys will make the playoffs. Guys, stop joking. For the people who are joking that the Cowboys are not going to, they will make the playoffs. The team's too good not to, and I'm sure Shemaiah and I we'll talk about the Cowboys in depth at some point here soon. But
as long as they don't forget about the rules of the ball and where it goes.
Hey, he's a Lions fan, guys. Give him some flack. Give him some flack. Don't be too harsh on him.
At least the Lions never done that before. Geez.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. then again, that's the Lions have never gotten that far in the playoffs anyway.
But they really have to deal with that pressure.
Yeah, they'll never have to deal with the pressure. I'm sorry, Lions fans. Cowboys fans, Lions fans, we're joking around here. We have a good time here on the Baller Boys. Shemaiah, I think we did our job tonight. We tackled the Rams, and the Rams might end up being on a repeat, that's for sure. But thank you all for joining us on another episode of the Baller Boys podcast. I am Mark. You can follow me on Twitter at Mark, MarkTH, 3 3s, no E's, capital M, capital C, Mark the MC. Shemaiah, what's your handle, man?
Oh, my hander is Shemaiah on the BT. I'm never gonna let that go, by the way. But yeah, Shemaiah on the BT.
You could do that forever if you want. Shemaiah on the BT. You heard him. We record multiple episodes every week. You can find us on your favorite podcast streaming service. We're all over the place. Type in Baller Boys Podcast. And if you're interested in listening on YouTube, if you're one of the YouTube listeners, or you want to throw on the YouTube app while you're exercising, or maybe you're just chilling and you want to hear some guys banter about sports, throw up that YouTube channel, Baller Boys Podcast. Can't miss us. We're uploading our segments on in video formats. We're not on camera or anything, but we have an audio spectrum. We got some cool thumbnails. Our banner art's pretty sick. I know I get giddy whenever I talk about it because I think it looks really cool. But go give that a watch, and if you're interested in YouTube. But thank you all for tuning in. We talk about sports, and of course more sports. Tell your mom, tell your grandpa, your grandpa. Tell your grandma, your grandpa, and everyone in your family, all your friends, everyone. We're the Baller Boys, and tune in next time. Peace out.